everyone, and welcome to Club Reaction here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, as Rangers beat West Ham by 3-1 at the first of the pre-season friendlies at Ibrox. I am Scott Carney. I'm on my own tonight due to me not being at the game tonight due to other commitments. So all the other lads are at the game, so it's just a quick one from me as I bring in my reaction to rather enjoyable second half for sure. A lot of good things to get into, that is for absolute sure. So yeah, this won't be too long. One, it's absolutely roasting where I do these podcasts. So as it is for everyone everywhere else, not that I'm complaining, even though everybody else seems to be complaining about the heat. It's been rather enjoyable. But yes, I am impressed with what I've seen from sort of some things that I've seen from Rangers tonight. I think there's everything's just starting to go in the right direction. Let's put it that way. So before I get into the game, it was announced just before kick-off that Ben Davies has signed for Rangers on a deal worth around £4 million. Stick around at the end of the podcast and I'll bring a wee bit more reaction to that. But yeah, that was announced just before, and he was actually there. Seen him going on the pitch just beforehand with Tillman. Speaking of Tillman, a wee bit disappointed he wasn't even on the bench tonight. I know obviously all these players are in different stages of the pre-season. However, we only have one pre-season game left before the league kicks off for real, and I was a wee bit disappointed that we didn't even get a wee 15 minutes sort of cameo from him right at the end. That's probably my kind of biggest disappointment from the team when I first seen it initially. And no Lowry again. I'm not sure if this is a knock. It's not been reported. I've not seen it anywhere. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me exactly what it is, but yeah, I'm a wee bit disappointed that we're probably not going to see Lowry this pre-season, which is a real shame because I think we were all quite desperate to see him. So yeah, a wee bit gutted at that. So into the game itself, team was no real surprise, I don't think, from me. Maybe expecting a wee bit more again from the newer players. It's what pre-season's all about. It's what you want to see in pre-season, and it's not really taking anything away from the players that are already there and done this, but it's what pre-season's all about. New signings, good weather. You expect to see a new signings, and it didn't happen till later on, but it was worth the wait, let's put it that way. But the first 15 minutes of the first half, and to be honest, I wouldn't even be talking about the first half, but there's a few things that I think I have to mention from the first half, or else I would just jump straight to the second, because that's really where all the action happened. But I thought the tempo was much better from the start of the game. The first 15 minutes, much crisper passing, much more conviction in the passing. Possibly the effect of being back at Ibrox. I'm not really sure. Maybe the players got a lift knowing that they're back at Ibrox and had that a wee zip in their step, maybe, possibly. But I thought Lundstram was really great. I really did thought he was kind of leading the charge, and I like John Lundstram for the pure fact that no matter what game he's playing, he seems to be playing it as if it's a cup final. I like that approach from him. His legs aren't really 100% there yet, I don't think, but as pre-season, that's what it's all about. Towards the end of the game, he did start to tire, but it's very hot today. It's not always like this in Scotland, so people are kind of getting used to that, I suppose. But yeah, I liked John Lundstram in that first half for sure, and I wasn't really disappointed at anybody really in the first half. It just wasn't. The final ball just wasn't really quite there. I thought Scott Wright was quite quiet in the game, which is kind of disappointing considering the way he's been in the past couple of games. I thought he's looked really positive. I thought he just looked a bit quiet. We did look like we were concentrating much more down the left-hand side than we were the right. I don't know if that's a tactical decision by Gio, if that's what he's trying to do, and what the game plan was going to be to really try and get Kent and Barisic into the game. But it certainly worked to get Barisic and Kent into the game. I thought they looked much more positive, much more like themselves, and especially Borna Barisic. I thought he was tremendous in that first half, honestly. The Borna Barisic evolved. He was sound defensively. He was up in support with Ken. He was charging forward. He was chasing lost causes. Yeah, he really, as if he really had a bit of a point to prove that he can be our number one. Obviously, I will come on as well to the inevitable leaving of Calvin Bassey. It's all but been announced by Ajax. It's a done deal. Everything is finalised. So maybe Barisic is trying to show just exactly what we've been missing when we've been playing Bassey, but don't really think there's any great harm in that either. I think that's a positive thing for Borna. So yeah, but in the first half especially, I was very impressed with him. I thought he was particularly good. But the best chance actually from the half came from West Ham. It was a kind of one-on-one. Antonio was through, but McLaughlin was very quick off his line to come out and block it. It was good to see. And also John McLaughlin came for a cross at a corner, which it's just I think when you see things like that, you forget that goalkeepers actually do that. Again, no disrespect to Al McGregor, but it's not half common when you see a keeper being able to come out and collect a ball from a corner. Very, very good. But the rest of the half, as I say, Cholak even has a chance. He could probably have done a wee bit better with after a slack touch from the West Ham defender. The West Ham defender does recover well to stop the shot, but injures himself in the process and has to go off. But he maybe could have done a wee bit better with that. Again, maybe being a wee bit harsh, but we were pressing high, trying to force a mistake to win the ball up the pitch. But it's just the wee final bit just wasn't quite there. But as I said, I thought Barisic in particular was great. I thought Kamara as well was much better. I gave him a bit of stick after the game at the weekend against Blackpool, just for, again, it's pre-season, I understand that, but just for not really believing in himself that that's the position that he's been asked to play, just that wee bit further forward. But because when he does it and he's passing and the quick passing that he can do, it works. It really does work. But he has to kind of believe in that and not try and. He's going to be playing in a position that looks like anyway when he's asked to play further forward, that you can't hide. You can't hide in that position. You are the one that has to connect to the midfield with the front line in that position. If we're going through the middle, you have to be that guy. So, but I thought he was much more positive today and in the correct positions as well. There was a few times of passes from Rangers was really good, and that's even before we go into the second half. But yeah, so I say best you can say about the first half is it was a friendly. That's really it. It's the best you can say. Nothing really much more to get into. Into the second half, we made three subs. Lawrence, Sands, and Matondo come on for Wright, Shooter, and Jack. Quickly on John Shooter. He was okay in parts. I think he got caught out a couple of times. Just a wee bit of rustiness, we'll put it down to. I think he got caught out a couple of times, but he was solid enough. And he looks like he could play alongside Goldson, no problem at all. But the perfect start from the half, and it's the two new boys. Tav slips in Matondo, who drives into the box, cuts it back to Lawrence, who picks his spot and side foots it into the bottom corner. A fantastic start. Brilliant to see them two linking up, and they just continue to spoil us really for the next kind of 10 minutes or so. Just after that, it's 2-0. This time, Tav breaks forward, cuts it to Lawrence at the edge of the box, who slips in left to Kent. He smashes it home first time with his left foot to make it 2-0. Again, another fantastic goal, kind of a goal that we're used to seeing from Rangers. Lawrence in really good positions, and to slip it to Ryan Kent, who shoots and scores. Then he not only gets it on target, he shoots and he scores. Let's hope that's a sign of things to come for the rest of this season. But what a start from Lawrence, a goal and an assist, and that's definitely how to make an impact and to make a bit of a noise in front of the Ibrox crowd on your Ibrox debut. And then shortly after that, it was Lawrence and Matondo at it again. Lawrence starts a move with a drop of the shoulder, and our half fires it to Matondo. He breaks forward, plays it to Tav. The ball kind of comes back at pace towards Lawrence at the edge of the box, who somehow manages first time to get it back to Matondo, who's on the right-hand side of the box, and he fires it home to make it 3-0. Genuinely, what an impact from both of them. And the football in that first 15 to 20 minutes in the second half was very impressive, really impressive. We looked like we came out with a point to prove, and that's the start of the second half, and it was everything just slowly starting to click together. Everything just started to make a wee bit more sense, and yeah, I thought everything we did in that second half of any sort of note came through Lawrence. I like where he played today. I like his positioning. I like where he was picking up the ball. He's not scared to drop deep as well to pick up the ball. He's a very promising player. I think we've got a bit of a baller on our hands here. And that's before I even get to the pace of Matondo that we've seen at one point when he broke down the right-hand side. He's lightning fast, absolutely rapid. Very interested to see how he develops under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. But yeah, Lawrence for me was an absolute shining light in that second half. I thought he was fantastic. I really did. I thought very impressive way to make a debut at Ibrox, pre-season friendly or not. And I know that's easy for me to say when I've been criticising, or I've been trying to not criticise saying it's a pre-season friendly, but that's what you want to see new players do. You want them to come in, hit the ground running, believe in themselves, believe that they can do it at this level. And yeah, I was very impressed with Lawrence. Very, very impressed. I just think he was in the right place all the time. Even when we're breaking forward and the move wasn't quite coming off a few times, it maybe should have. He was in the right place. He was the kind of just breaking into the box right at the right time. So I am very excited to see more of him. West Ham do get a goal back. Looked like a foul on McLaughlin if you're going to nitpick it, as the ball kind of rolled into the net. But even at that, it's a poorly defended corner by Rangers. It's one of those. We've seen it before, yes. I'm not going to be worried about it because it's pre-season, yes, but just a poorly defended corner. We have to do better than that. Not great, and it probably was a foul, but it was a Scottish referee, Nick Walsh, I think it was. What do you expect? Generally, what do you expect? But into the last 20 minutes, and we made a number of changes. Kent, Kamara and Barisic come off. Arfield, Devine and McCann come on. And previous to that, Sakala had come on for Cholak. Again, Cholak, I thought it was good. His hold-up play is really, really good. I think the first half didn't pass him by as such, but the lack of cutting edge that we really seemed to have in the final third kind of let him down. There was a few times he was unlucky not to be slipped in. But no, I'm still looking forward to seeing him develop. I think he's going to be a real good signing for us. Ryan was at the game tonight and he sent a message before and said he's a big lad. He's a big lad, so he's definitely got the build to make an impact up here. But yeah, the last 10 minutes really were a non-event. West Ham had a bit of a possession and kind of sustained possession, really. Thought Bowen looked really good for them on their right-hand side. I thought he was pretty impressive a few times. Left Devine for dead at one point, but nothing really came of it, and it was a bit of a dead rubber. At that point, I think West Ham had accepted defeat, and we'd very much accepted that we'd won the game. And when you make that many substitutions, it's always going to happen. The last 10 minutes pretty much become nothing. But yeah, we play like that this season, especially the way we did in the first 20 minutes of that, first 15, 20 minutes of that second half. We will be absolutely fine this season, that is for sure. Full time 3-1, as I say, very much more like it for me. And yeah, just one more game of pre-season to go on Saturday now, which I am going to. So very much looking forward to that. And thank you, Rangers, for leaving Tillman's debut for me being there at Ibrox. I couldn't ask for more. So before I go, I will do a wee bit on Ben Davies. Really good signing for Rangers, in my opinion. A kind of ball-playing, left-sided defender. What more could you ask for? Generally, it's what we were kind of screaming for, what we were asking for, especially with Hollander looking like he might have played his last game for Rangers. Who knows? But yeah, I'm encouraged by this signing. The deal's going to be worth around $4 million. I think there's one thing for sure: he's coming in to partner Connor Goldson. He will be playing. We're not paying that fee for a player for him to come in and not play. So I think he is the number one choice. Be it part as a 2, be it part as a 3. A lot of that kicking about, a lot of the rumours kicking about that we could be going to a 3 at the back. Very possible, very, very possible. I'm not 100% sure around that. It'd be interesting to see if it's going to be maybe Suter, Davis and Goldson at the back. It'll be one to keep an eye on. But yeah, the deal itself, I'm very encouraged by it. Very encouraged. He might not have had the best of times when he was down south. I do still believe that he could have got a team down south. I think he's made the decision to come to Rangers, which is always going to stand in good stead with me. I think he could have got himself into the lower end of the Premiership into a team. So I don't really have any doubt about that. And Jurgen Klopp, before he left, had really kind comments about him, saying he was a good guy and he's got a great chance to come to a club like Rangers and to really showcase his talent. So yeah, I am looking forward to that one. I don't know if Saturday will be too soon for him. Not 100% sure, depending on where he is with pre-season, but I would expect if anyone who could play at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes, even 45 minutes to that will be included in the bench, including new players. So it will be interesting to see who we see on Saturday, but very much looking forward to that. Obviously, this has all came round due to the Bassey deal. It looks like, and sterling, it's about 18.5 million. Rangers have got initially for him up front. To me, it's on a bit of a low side, yes. It looks that way on paper. However, when you see the add-ons that are going on to that, and most crucially is the sell-on clause being 10%. Ajax don't do that. Rangers have had to make Ajax do that. I think Bassey was quite happy to go there, more than happy to go to Ajax, and I think he'll do really well. I think he'll do really well. The amount of money we've made on that deal is ludicrous. It is. It's absolutely bonkers. And yes, it might seem low just now, but if Calvin Bassey turns into the player that we all expect him to, and why it hurts so much that he's left, because we do expect him to turn into that player. If he goes for 50, 60 million, Rangers are getting a significant chunk of that, and it'll take him well past the 25 million that everybody's screaming for. So I think it's good business by Rangers. I am gutted that the big man's away, because I absolutely loved him, the same as everybody else, but I wish him nothing but the best. Generally wish him nothing but the best. He's got a real future ahead of him. There's a lot of clubs paying attention to what Calvin Bassey is doing right now. So gutted that he's gone, but I wish him nothing but the best and nothing but success. And he will always be welcome at Ibrox with a bucket hat on. That is for absolutely sure. So yes, that will do me for tonight. As always, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video if you would be so kind. We will be back on Friday with at least one more podder, not just me. There will be someone else on Friday. The lads will bring a bit of reaction to this, and we'll round up the rest of Rangers news. And we'll look ahead to the Tottenham game. So yes, enjoy the rest of your week, which I'm sure we all will. It's always a wee bit better after Rangers win, even if it is a pre-season friendly, let's be honest about that. But we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and I'll speak to you all on Friday. Cheers, everybody.